All right, so this is Q&A part 2. Thank you so much for asking so many questions. I am really thankful for all of you. I'll keep the answers brief because there are a lot of questions, about 27 I guess. Let's get right into it. First question, Rehanard, nice name. What's the future of petrol bikes in India in the next 20 years? Will everything become electric? And what about ethanol blending? So, yes, the future is towards that, but you don't need to worry about ethanol blending because all the new bikes that will be coming next year onwards, they will be compatible with E20. It's just the older bikes, they will have to be taken care of a lot more periodically, a lot more frequently, and add some petrol additives in your fuel tank so that it cleans up all the fuel injectors and your throttle body and whatnot. The future is electric, but you have to take care of your ICE motorcycles a lot more frequently now. Next question. Webov_rides. Your advice to a new creator? People keep saying you need to hop on trends to get traction initially. I don't like posting BS that adds to value to anyone watching. Very good question. Now, you can never predict trends, so there is no point in hopping on trends or waiting for trends to happen. The best way to move forward is to find your own niche, find your own audience, and stick to them consistently. Experiment what works and what doesn't work, and what you think you are comfortable in making, just stick to that. And if you see that there is some trend that's picking up, because Instagram feed also shows you what is trending, and make use of that in whatever way that you can. That's the best advice that I can give you. Good question, by the way. I would love to elaborate on that, but there's a lot of questions that need to be answered. Okay, next question, Vishwajit_Roy. Is there any pain in fingers if improper gloves are used while riding? Basic things consider while buying a glove for a rider. I've been gifted a normal gloves. Whenever I use them, there is pain in my fingers. Get well soon, bro. Keep making videos. Thank you so much for your wishes. And yes, the most basic thing that you can consider is measure your palm circumference, and whatever measurement matches on the website measurement, just go with that gloves. XL fits mine. And yes, if you're riding with gloves on and if you're feeling a lot of pain, that means the gloves is not your size. So get a new one. Next one, PVS Anant Kumar 8465. Tell me at what cc bikes should beginner choose? Under 200 to 250 cc, or does it depend on individuals? Good question, but I would say always start small, because smaller cc bikes will be lighter and they will be easier to manage, and then progressively move on to a higher cc bike. Next question, Akash Sorte 4502. Are there any modifications you regret doing to your bike? I love your content and get well soon. Thank you so much for the wishes. Yes, it is healing and I am recovering. So far, no. Oh yeah, I did choose improper handlebar risers, which used to make a lot of tick noise whenever you would turn when the bike is stationary. So if I'm giving my motorcycle to my friends for them to ride, they would feel really scared because of the way I take care of the motorcycle, and they would think that there is something genuinely wrong with the motorcycle because of all the noise that would make. So handlebar risers before I installed the Motone up and overs. Good question. Next question, Anant, the F1 addict. Someone's into Formula 1. What's the reason behind your positivity? Recently binged your Jaisalmer trip. Nice content. Thank you so much. Well, being positive is a choice, and putting your nose into someone else's business is also a choice. So I choose the former. I choose to be positive because it's always good to work on yourself. It's always good it just makes you feel good, doesn't it? I think that question needs more pondering inside of myself, but more on that in some other video. All right, next question. Yash-U4V. Considering the conditions of Indian road, do you think the market of dual sport motorcycles like X-Pulse 210, Himalayan would increase? If yes, then what about the other categories of bike like cafe racer, cruisers, and even commuters? If possible, should a man buy a dual sports or any other categories of bike? Well, the answer is always get a test ride. And because opinions and preferences are always going to be subjective. So you cannot go by anybody else's opinion. For example, if I like a cafe racer And if I suggest you a cafe racer, you might find it really uncomfortable because of the seating posture. So always go for a test ride, and go for multiple test rides rather. That'll really help you narrow down to the motorcycle that you like. Next one, Living Nirvana 9235. Name for the episode, Hummingbirds and the Pistons Fire. Heavy, but no. P.S. If I get a shout out, kindly shout out to this ID @Echo Zap-N5W. Well, there you go. Next question, Active Turtle 770. Aftermarket suggestions for tail light and indicator lights for Interceptor GT in India. Can't really afford imported stuff, and stock lights look ugly in my opinion. Well, the reason why I went with imported ones is because they last really long. If I suggest you a cheap brand, they will last for 6 months, and after that you will need a replacement. So what's the point in spending again and again? That is why I chose to spend a little extra, a lot of extra actually, and go with the ones that I really have. But you can find some things on Amazon. Those are the ratings, go by ratings. Those are some of the good ones out there. So I think I will link some to the description. Next one, Max Stuff 589. I know you did most of your modifications by yourself, but were there any which you had to do from some service center? Either official RE service center or from unofficial centers outside? Yes, good question and good observation. While that is true that I did most of my modifications by myself, most of the bike's modifications by myself, I did not do the front YSS suspensions by myself because I don't have the proper tools to open the suspension and put the bike on a really long center stand for me to remove the suspensions and then put the YSS suspensions in. So I got it done from Speed Monks Performance Center. Nice questions, man. Okay, next question, TorqueTales_in. Your suggestions on how to long ride with tube tires. Just go on about it. And if they get punctured, learn to fix a puncture. And there's a guy, there's the kid who wants some attention. All right, next question, Asur2652. I have a classic 350. I want to do a 900 kilometer ride, but I have done only 500 kilometer max in a day. My parents are suggesting not to do it, but I want to. Should I do it? No, you should not. Because at the end of your journey, you will not get a prize or your name will not be enlisted in Guinness Book of World Records. So do not do this stunt. Think about yourself, think about your loved ones, because if you're doing a 900 kilometer trip in a day, you are going to get really tired. So much so that you might doze off while riding, and that can end in serious disaster. So do not. Even 500 kilometers in a day is a lot. Take breaks, hydrate yourself, and ride safely, my man. Next question, Gopal Prasad Patel 270. Hi Srinivas, lovely to see you again. Wishing you a speedy recovery and good health. Thank you. By the way, I have X-Pulse 200 4V and Interceptor Black Ray. I love them a lot. Regarding bike care, I already have a washing facility. Now I'm planning to get one portable air blower for regular bike cleaning. What's your advice on this? Please suggest. Absolutely, go for it. Because a lot of do-it-yourself bike cleaning stations do not have air hose or air valve so that you can dry off the water pretty quickly. And as a result, some of the water might get into your spark plugs or your fuel injectors, which is really bad. So portable air blower, go for it. It's pretty good. I'll link what I have in the descriptions. Do check it out. All right, next one, Blobby Gelatino 6793. I don't judge. Some solutions on RE Interceptor Bear 650 rear suspensions. Stiffness, your perspective. Well, the number one thing that I can tell you is, because the suspensions, the rear suspensions on all the 650 models except the GT and the Interceptor are really on the stiffer side, just add some weight on the rear end. It'll make the suspensions really good. Practically speaking, yes. Have a pillion and then you ride it, you'll see that the rear suspension will be behaving very differently. Otherwise, go for YSS. They're good too. Trust me. All right, next one. Ujjwal Kumar 7409. Best gear for bike riding. One in each. Gloves, jackets, etc. That are good and practical. The gloves, I'll suggest Royal Enfield Gareth riding gloves. They are in collaboration with Alpine Stars. They are pretty good. Jacket, Royal Enfield Explorer V4 jacket. That is very good. As for riding pants, you can go with Soaker riding pants. That is also by Royal Enfield. Those are tried and tested and pretty good. Shoes, I'll always suggest go for Trip Machine because those are Genuinely very nice. Trip Machine Brute. I'll do a review of those pretty soon. Keep an eye out. All right, next one. Man, there are a lot to go. Let me do it quickly. Bored Ape 7054. An unicorn bike according to you for an average middle class Indian. Bajaj Pulsar N160? Go for it. It'll do everything. Next question. Prashant RSK VP 9153. Title. What's up, Mike? That's very specific to Mike, but no. Next question. Hari underscore 3174. Hi bro, I'm looking for my first bike. Which one shall I prefer? Like, it should be good for daily commutes and occasional for road trips. You can try looking into Gorilla 450. That's good. Or go for Himalayan. The height doesn't bother you. The ground clearance. Because the Himalayan is a really tall bike. So, test rides. Mikey Rog. Hey, fellow neighbor. Maintenance tips if you're not gonna drive your bike for a long time. Definitely. Unscrew your negative terminal on your motorcycle, unhook the negative coupler also, and just leave it there. Make sure that the metal tips do not touch any other metal parts. Rather, cover it up with some cloth and all, and you're good to go. Your battery is disconnected and you can leave the bike as is. And also do a full tank before you leave so that there is no way that any air can get in your fuel tank and as a result can result in corrosion inside the fuel tank. So full tank of fuel and disconnect your negative battery terminal. That'll do it for you. Thank you for asking the question, Mike. Do check out Mikey Rog's channel as well. He is an excellent gamer, does amazing walkthroughs. All right, next one. Steve Watson T9Q. I'm college student, planning to buy my first motorcycle. I live in Chennai and I have to drive 55 kilometers per day. I like scram looks, but when I test ride both, I felt Himalayan 450 was better too. However, both was a short test ride, but the scram handling was hard in traffic than Himalayan. Clutch was too hard in scram, made my hands red. I loved old Himalayan 411, the scram looks the same. I personally didn't like the Himalayan 450 tank shape, but when I ride it, it can't explain the comfort, can't even believe which I don't like was like perfectly made for me. I am not a big fan of digital console and its exhaust sound sucks. This is my POV on both bikes. Heart says Scram 440, brain says Himalayan 450. Go with the brain because Scram 440 is going to be discontinued any which ways. So that's my take on it. All right, next one. Abhijit Talari 2966. Hello sir, do you believe that long distance riders, perhaps those undertaking 2,000 or 3,000 kilometer trips, should learn to repair their motorcycle, at least the basic issues, and start fitting accessories on their own? If yes, then where do we start? Very good question. Start with bolt-on fits, rear suspensions, mirrors, the clutch and brake levers, headlights, open the headlight, tightening or loosening the clutch cable, same with the accelerator cable as well, and learn to open the tank and learn to close the tank, put it back also. Good question. Yes. Riders doing that many kilometers in the long trip, they should definitely learn how to take care of their motorcycles more often. Rohit Kumar 1483. Bought a new Hunter 350 2 weeks back and it heats up a lot. Wondering if it'll settle down after first service or will it stay hot? It will settle down after first service because after first service the oil is flushed out and a fresh oil is put in. So that'll take care of the heating issues for sure. And invest in proper riding gear, riding pants. That'll also take care of the heating problem. As for the title, I'd suggest Bike Talk with Sri. Interesting. Why not? Next question. Saurabh Kundgar 4224. I'm planning to buy a Himalayan 450. My riding frequency is fairly low, around 2-3 times a week for under 50 kilometers, plus one long ride every few months. I wanted to know if frequent use could lead to any maintenance issues or if bike needs any special care, especially since it's a Royal Enfield. Would appreciate advice as a Himalayan owner. Definitely go with the Himalayan. There are no issues whatsoever. I've been to Leh, I've been to Jaisalmer, and I do plan to ride Coimbatore once this heals. And it's a mechanical thing at the end of the day, and just get it serviced regularly. That'll take care of all your issues. So, all the best for your journey. All right, next up, Sandeep Pallapu. Put out a video on how to put out a video on Friday morning. Nitin Ranjan 4935. Chain reaction Q&A. Break time Q&A. Interesting. I'll consider these. Next up, Harish Babu 2339. Please tell me something about TVS RTX 300. Please, I want to hear it from your side. The bike is pretty well priced and a lot of People are praising it. So I need to ride it myself. So before I give you my opinions, I need to test ride it first. But it looks good. Looks like a mini Tiger, right? All right, next one. Yuvan Pratap FH2YT. Best touring seat for Himalayan, and also please suggest best touring windshield. The rally seat. It is really, really good. The best windshield, go for the OEM ones. Those are really, really good. Trust me, the wind. Yes, you might have to go for a Pro Spec edition on this windshield, but I didn't feel anything. This works. This gets the job done fairly nicely. Okay, next one. Cat LS Cat 09. What are the major differences between daily driving an Interceptor 650 and the Himalayan 450? You'll all come in the camera. What are the major differences between daily driving an Interceptor 650 and the Himalayan? I've made a video on that, and do check it out. I'll leave in the description below, and I'll reply to this comment as well with that link. Amit KA Magic. Next question. DIY for Interceptor 650 rear wheel removal. I think I have done that when I put out an ASMR video of getting your bike serviced and getting a chain also replaced. I'll link that video on your reply. Okay, next up, Farzan Ahmed 3434. I am really considering about buying a riding gloves, but I don't know which one to buy. Gareth Royal Enfield gloves. Those are in collaboration with Alpine Stars. I just mentioned that in the previous question. Should have all the protective features, should be universal, that is, can be used in summer, provides warmth in winter, budget friendly. That really depends on your budget. And remember the graph that I showed you when I was talking about jackets? The more costly an item, the more protective it will be. So you want something in the middle. Gareth gloves, I've been using them so far and they are really good. And they are perforated also at some parts, so you don't really feel your hands really heat up. And they have the touchscreen feature also for the phone. They have decent protective elements on your knuckles, so that should be fine, I guess. Joel Gonmay, when are you getting married or already? None of your effing business. Thank you so much for asking. Rakesh 0880, can you say any disadvantages of Dismotech tubeless rims or on both GT and Interceptor, please? Well, I believe someone has made a video on this, and they faced a lot of difficulties in installing those rims on the bike. Sometimes you need a hub, you need a different bolt, you need a different bracket. I don't really know. That's too much R&D to be really looking into, for that matter. I took the easy way out. I went for a Outex tubeless kit, and it just works. 4 years and counting. Nothing happened. Okay, next one, Shashank_Kubal. Rally tower on X-Pulse, is road legal or not? I believe in certain states it might not be legal, Chandigarh and all that, but other than that it should be. Alright, next one, T-Sharing Epic Escape 885. We did a video on jackets, now why not a video on riding boots and gloves as well? Yes, those are in the pipeline and you will see them, one of those at least, next week. For now, I'm looking forward to releasing more videos that focus on the motorcycles that have been released at the EICMA, and starting with Himalayan 750, the video of which will come out day after tomorrow. These are in the pipeline for sure. Stay tuned. All right, last question. Green Blue 2888. Hello, Sri. Whoa, that's quite a question. Hello, Sri. Currently own a Himalayan 450, about 11,000 kilometers. Nice. I love the bike. It's been my one bike garage since I don't have a car. Back in 2024, I felt like the best choice. Lately though, my heart is leaning towards upcoming BMW F450, fantastic choice, and the KTM 390 Adventure S top end, which launched a few months ago. My main worry is that the Hemi 450 is pretty top heavy. It's great for touring, but in most other situations, city rides and light off-road, it can be a bit of a handful. I agree with you, since I've dropped the bike twice now. One of them resulted in me breaking my meniscus and ACL. So I'm thinking of selling the Himalayan 450 and getting the BMW if it lands under 6 lakh on road. Not sure how likely. It is very likely since it's going to be made in India. Or going for the KTM. What do you think? Go for the BMW F450 GS. That is fantastic. I love it. Is this just a grass is greener moment, or should I stick with the Himalayan? Well, till the time the BMW is launched, stick with the Himalayan. Have fun on it. Thanks. Love your videos. By the way, I know my content is pretty late. Not a problem. Hope you include this in the week's video. By the way, for series, few idea. Throttle queries, Ask and twist. Between gears. I like that. Write and reply. Also pretty good. Or you can simply put as Trini steak. Nah, that's just too generic. Between gears is pretty good. I think I'll go with that. So these were a lot of questions. Man, this is going to be a long video. But yes, thank you so much for asking these questions. And I will again put up a question on Monday. And you can feel free to answer or ask any of the questions that you want to. And by Thursday, I'll make this video. By Friday, I'll release this video. So thank you so much for asking these wonderful questions and keeping it really authentic. And about the marriage question, don't. My mind is just focused on building a career first. So thank you so much for asking those wonderful questions, and I'll see you next week. This is Shri. Oi, where's my side stand?